Okay, so you join me once again over this little side of the cave to talk about this. It's the Jarvis Standing Desk by Fully, and this is kind of my birthday treat to myself. So I'm going to take you through hopefully the install. It's cold in here, poured a mustard on my back, and I'm sure the dog is going to give me some grief as we try and set this up. But take you through basically what I've bought, and I'm using my own desktop that I've got from Ikea. But yeah, this will be the Jarvis Standing Desk kind of build and review. Okay, so before I unbox things and then kind of move the camera a little bit so we can hopefully get this built, I'll talk a little bit about kind of my decision to buy a standing desk. So as regular viewers of the channel know, I work from home here in the cave, so I'm sat at my desk with all those computer screens for hours and hours and hours every single day. And sometimes I do like to stand up, but then you're all kind of hunched over if you're trying to do stuff. And I thought for a while about getting a standing desk. A couple of my co-workers have got standing desks, but they are expensive. This is expensive. But I decided that as expensive as they are, you know, I do save a lot of money on the commute, and I've been working from home kind of full time for must be 15 years or so over my working career. So definitely feel that you know, I can invest some time in this, and I think the Fully desk come with 7 years warranty as well. So touch wood, it's going to be relatively trouble free, but I think it's going to be nice to have that flexibility to kind of be able to easily move and choose a seating position, or the standing position I should say. So I decided to go with a couple of things. As mentioned in the intro, I didn't buy the desktop from Fully, and that was for a couple of reasons. One is they've got some good different size options, and the desks are quite thick, but I wanted a very slight different size option for where I want to put it here in the cave, and also it's a bit of a tight ass to try and save a bit of money and spend some money on some other bits as well. So I've gone for a desktop, well, it's actually a dining room tabletop from Ikea, which I'll show you about that in a moment. I bought two of them for the same price it would have cost me one of these desks from Fully. I've gone for the bamboo effect. They do a bamboo one and a laminate desk. I've got two of them because I kind of like to have an L-shaped desk setup. So that is going to replace the other one, and I'll probably do a video overview so you can see what that looks like over there. And then I've gone for the black Jarvis frame. They do kind of a standard version and extended version that kind of goes slightly higher and slightly lower, but I feel like I don't need that, so standard kind of setup. Also got myself their basic standing mat. So this is just a mat that you can stand on, just make it a little bit more comfortable on your feet. Also, just because it was there and I thought it'd be quite funny, also got a bottle opener attachment that they have to go underneath the desk as well. And then finally, as standard, the desk doesn't have any memory presets, so you just kind of press and hold for it to go up and then stop where you want it and press and hold and go down. I paid the extra money, it's £20 for the fully adjustable and programmable module, which I should have in here. So it looks like there's a couple of versions. I'm hoping they've got the latest version, which is kind of like a touchscreen type of version, so we'll see once we get things opened. But it has full memory presets as well as those up and down buttons, so I can basically have a preset for sitting, a preset for standing. I could also have some presets when my kids come over and look at stuff as well. So I like the fact that I haven't got to press and hold to go up and down each time. I just have some presets and less messing around. But that's what we've got. So going to unbox this stuff and hopefully then kind of build it up and see how it works. And then I will finish a video kind of a bit later when I get time to kind of put it around where my desk area is, put all the monitors on there. That's the other thing, I've got 6 monitors that will go on this desk, and then a single 4K monitor goes on the other side, and cameras and stuff. But yeah, hopefully it's going to be good. And I'll put some information below about how much each of these components cost, and a link. You can get these in the UK, Europe and US. And yeah, let's open the boxes and see what's inside then. Okay, so it says to not use a blade on these boxes. I accept this risk. I'm just going to be really careful doing it. So this should be the standing mat. You can get these off Amazon, and they also do different versions that kind of have natural kind of ripples in it to kind of replicate standing on grass or on a slight uneven surface to kind of force you to move around and stuff. There are obviously lots of statements around the benefits to using a standing desk. I can't comment exactly on how true they are, but one thing I do know is sometimes you just feel better and more alert when standing, especially in certain meetings and what have you. And also one thing I do find is, if you're lazy and you're sat in your arse all day, you're not consuming as many calories as you would if you're up and around in a normal traditional working environment when people are disturbing you and doing whatnot. So you actually use nearly 3 times as much, or burn nearly 3 times as much calories as you do sat down standing, just due to fidgeting and moving around. So there should be those elements as well, which should be pretty good. So let me just see if we can lift this open. So actually it's got a different brand on there. It says it's a New Life Eco Pro Advantage mat from Fully, 18 by 30. So pop this open and have a little look. So this is it. Very kind of basic. That's the underside. There's no branding or anything on it, which is actually kind of cool. And I'll just pop it down on the floor. It's like a memory foam kind of texture, and yeah, it feels pretty comfortable. So that should be all good. I'll put it back in the box for a minute, make sure the dog doesn't decide it wants to have a little munch on that. I'll move this away the camera. Okay, so next we'll pop open this one. This should be a little bottle opener. Again, we don't need these things. There's all sorts of things and accessories you can get for the Fully desk. Coat hooks and all sorts of stuff. Again, just not important. I just thought it'd be amusing, somewhere to be able to open your beer. Oh, actually, maybe this is not what I thought it was. So that's a UK plug. Oh, that is a bottle opener, so we'll open that in a moment. And what else is in here? Oh, just a packaging slip, shows everything that I have in there. So let's just pop open this little bottle opener. Here we have it. So it comes with screws. It says Jarvis on there, and it's very obviously basic. Just slide your bottle in there and pop it open. So we will install that at the end of the build as well. So again, we'll just pop this back in the box, move it out of the way, and then we can look at the bigger items. Okay, so there is a video link on here that says visit fully.com/how-to-Jarvis. I haven't looked at that yet, but I will do before making a start on the build. So again, we'll just pop this open. Okie dokie. Whoa, turned up the broken lava lamp up already. Okay, so first things first, the actual packaging is really good. Ooh. Okay, it's nice and sturdy. These are the lifting columns, and yeah, this is heavy. Ooh. So again, with the bad back, it's not great. I'm going to move these down to the floor, and then pick them up to show you if I can. Ooh. So here we are, the lifting columns. We can see that on the box here. So it's a box within a box, and mid-range extended stuff. So we'll see a little bit more as we go through it. So there's a little Fully mouse pad in there. Nice. So yeah, these are the control boxes and the motors for the legs. So we'll get to that in a moment when we kind of box stuff and you can see stuff on the floor. So I'll pop this to one side, and then that must be, obviously that's the desk frame that things connect to, so we'll open that box as well, and then we're ready for doing the build. Okay, so we'll just open up the last box, see what we've got going on inside. Okay, here we go. So, we've got the feet. Just pause that. I really like how well everything is boxed up. So there's big black chunky feet on the end there. I think that's one of the things I'm most concerned about with a standing desk, especially for a setup like myself, you have multiple monitors, is obviously as you raise something, it's going to be less stable. So I'm going to be interested to see at the end how much this wobbles, both without anything on it, and then obviously when I put the monitors on in like a follow-up, but still at the end of this video, how that works. So I'm going to put those out of the way. So they're the feet. Then we have the Jarvis handsets. This is where we see if I have the newer version, and we do. So this should be the totally touch sensitive version. So I don't know how well this kind of shows up on the camera. There's a little bit here that you can clearly see is like some sort of screen, so that's where it should say what the height is. I think it will say fully and everything on there, a little protective screen. And yes, that should work really well. The RJ45 connector on the end there, and also in the box is a little envelope that has a little cleaning cloth in there as well. No screws, so I'm assuming that's somewhere else, but a good start. It's the memory module as opposed to just the standard up and down one. So always good when a company ships you what you actually ordered. And then finally this, which is the frame. So again, I'll put some information on the screen, but the frame you can kind of extend and reduce depending on the size of the tabletop or the desktop that you're using. So yeah, that's a box of hardware. So I'm assuming this is going to have all the, yeah, this has got screws and connector cables and sticky things in there. So I think we're ready. I'm going to quickly watch the video on my phone, and then I'll move the camera about a little bit and hopefully kind of be able to see putting this together. So just before I watch the video and start the build, I've put all the kind of hardware and everything out that I'm going to need. So the various wood screws, machine screws, the cable management, sticky tie things, and the Allen keys and everything. One thing I am slightly concerned about, and we'll see how it goes. As I mentioned, the Ikea desk that I'm using is slightly thinner than the desk that comes, or desktop that comes from Fully. So I may have to pause the video and come back to it if I don't have the right hardware. So I may need to buy some washers or some slightly smaller screws or something that's going to fit with this to be able to use the desktop that I'm using. So yeah, let's just crack on and see how we get on. Okay, so I laid everything out, and then I realised that obviously you're going to need the desktop done, so I've just moved things around a little bit. And again, so now I'm going to show you the bamboo desk that I got from Ikea. So again, I shouldn't be using a knife, but I'm being careful. And just cut these little edges off, and should be good. One thing I've noticed is the construction, the build quality of the materials of the Fully desk seem really good. Put it down with there. Dog's trying to help. So yeah, things should be good.
to build. This is the bamboo desk top that I got from Ikea. So it's the of Riyadh or something. So it looks quite similar to the top from Fully, just a bit smaller. And yeah, I'm just gonna get things positioned up, and then we'll just basically do a time-lapsed build of putting this all together, and then I'll get it turned over, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's gonna work. Keeps on overheating, unfortunately, and now the lights run out. But hopefully the lighting's still good enough. I've just drilled a couple of pilot holes on the front of the desk. I'm going to have it on the front left for the controls, because where I will have my L shape will be over on the right hand side once this is mounted. So I'm just about to fix on the screen and then the control unit, and then let's see if we keep going with this build. So apologies, the battery did run out on me, so you missed me installing the bottle opener and screaming as I turned it over on my own. You definitely should use two people, but this is it, it's set up. This is in its lowest kind of position, and I'll just move it up into its higher position so you can see kind of what it sounds like. So I think it's pretty quiet, really. I'm not sure how well it's picking up on camera. And the readout's pretty funky on the little kind of console here. Okay, so this is its highest setting, and it is absolutely rock solid. There is no movement in it, which I'm absolutely amazed by. It's fantastic. And I've just set kind of two memory settings. So setting number 2 is how high I want it when I'm standing. So it's going to be around here. I'm 5'10", so this is just perfect for me. And then when I'm sat, I set this up for memory 1, just brings it back down into a low seated position for me. So I'm really happy. I think this is going to work really well for my purposes. The whole build process was really seamless. The only issue I had was at the start is getting the first motor lined up with the screws. Was a bit tricky, but once that was done, everything was plain sailing, and I'm really happy with how robust and everything kind of fits together with this Ikea top. A little bit nerve-wracking drilling your own holes, but yeah, I am really happy with how this has turned out. So I'll come back in the video in a day or so once I've moved all my monitors around and set everything up. But yeah, this is pretty good. I'm happy with the quality, and actually it does feel like money well spent already. So yeah, catch you in a minute when we've got the desk all properly set up. and how it kind of rises and lowers with 6 monitors on here.
Okay, so this is it, the Fully Jarvis Standing Desk. I've pretty much got everything set up how I like it now. Still a little bit of mess about, but it's working really well. I've had it set up for a week now. I really love how everything's working. So as you can see now, I've got all 6 monitors on here, and if I wobble it, is some wobble that's been added by obviously the weight of the monitors, but it's still really stable. So in general kind of usage, and when I'm standing and moving the mouse and everything, there's no real vibration to speak of, which is really fantastic. I've set in a couple of kind of modes right now, just 1 and 2. One for this, my standing height, which I'm pretty happy with kind of how I'm using that, and then memory 1 lowers it down into a sitting position, which I also have level with the rest of the desk over here. So I think it looks and works really well. So see, when I slide my chair under here, I sit absolutely perfect. But most of the time I'm finding that I am standing up. Normally from some days actually I have done the whole day, but normally from around 9 AM to 3 PM, and then I'll kind of sit down for a few hours in the afternoon. But I'm really happy with kind of how this is set up and how it's turned out. So yeah, I definitely would recommend checking out Fully if you're looking for a standing desk. None of these things are cheap, but I think it looks and works pretty damn good. Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.